Hello everyone, today in this video we will fight against the advanced character of our world around us, and today we will have some considerations about possible lines according to which a human population can be divided. So from the history examples we clearly see, I do not want to go to the examples that are very far. We can see it in former Yugoslavia, when the dissolution of the state, unfortunately brutal, in the form of series of civil wars that lasted for more than a decade, one can say, of course with different intensity, we see that people divided this territory according to the language they speak, according to their religion. And sometimes, but former Yugoslavian society didn't have this component. Societies can be divided also according to their ethnical, people would say, racial features, and also separate themselves from others when crisis comes. This requires some more comments, because the most important line of possible divisions, according to my observations, is the line according to the values and beliefs one follows. So religion, set of values, or simply this what these people consider important, and this what really defines the rules within their society, so defines the way how they live as a group. So method by which the group of people has its own life organized is a definition that corresponds to the definition of the civilization proposed by Mr. Felix Konieczny, great Polish historian and civilizational theorist from the second half of 19th century and first half of 20th century. So we see that this is the most important line of divisions. Of course, history gave us many examples that people were always trying to organize their life better and to respond to the cosmopolitan elite of aristocracy. Recently, in 18th and 19th century, some bourgeoisie representatives, so people of business, some people of business of the same origin as them, some people of business of Jewish origin. So now we have in Europe or in the United States, but especially in Europe, elite that now is forming a European Union using the old National Socialistic Communistic idea, and this elite comes from the mixture of former aristocrats plus representatives of bourgeoisie business people whose families rise to financial prominence in 19th century, and some of the representatives of Jewish financier altogether. And these elites they really want to dismantle national state to create a new human without an identity, and they think that with such a population completely without an identity, completely mixed and completely ruled by stupid socialistic idea, that's why they are in the alliance with socialistic leftist, now green socialist ideologies. They think that with such masses they will be able to rule, because they think that people without identity will not create an entity that can rebel against their power. Which is actually not true, because we see that in former Yugoslavia the process of creation of Yugoslav nations didn't work, and in case of first serious crisis after the death of Joseph Broz Tito, a leader who was leading Yugoslavia with iron fist but wisely, this country disintegrated painfully after a little bit more than 10 years after his death, because there was no lubricant which would keep everything together. So we see that unfortunately our dreamers, political business elite of current European Union nations are completely disconnected, and they don't know that if one destroys the national identity of people, what they really try to do really hard, then other identities will come into play, like religious identity, so the one related to values and the way of living, and racial identity, because there are only three identities with which people can associate with each other and work together under their umbrella. This is national identity, and to work as a group, of course. National identity, religious identity, so all ideology, religion, here I treat as one and the same type, and of course racial identity. And now all of these problems, religious conflict and racial conflict, once a national state is slowly being dismantled, these problems, racial and religious, arise. And of course, in my opinion, this what we will be really the composition of European Union as a former Yugoslavia, but on a larger scale. It will be really painful, especially that some countries within European Union possess the weapons of mass destruction, because there is no possibility to create human beings without any identity, but these elites, business political elites, they also disconnected themselves to a large extent from history and culture. That's why they stopped understanding these simple rules, and they are pursuing a social and ideological model of socialistic anti-culture approach that cannot work. So we will see, and we see the emerge of new identities and groups of people which will rebel against the system, or simply will fight each other, and the system at one point will not have enough force to keep an order, and everything will decompose again. All the best, have a nice day, bye.